Got a new griddle? Gotta season it right. In today's video, I'm gonna show you how we season our griddles every time we get new ones. And we've done this a bunch, and I wanna show you the correct way to season your griddle. You wanna see me knock this out and get this new surface looking beautiful and ready to cook on? Stick around while I dig in.
I can't believe the WALTWINS. They're right there. That's one of them. That's the other one.
I'm the other one.
It is a beautiful day here in Central Florida, and obviously you know we love outdoor cooking, all things outdoor cooking. Today's video is more a how to season your griddle. Now, we've done this a few times. We just recently unboxed and put together this 3-burner tabletop from Pit Boss. Absolutely love this little unit and can't wait to season it up and get to use. Now, we did have some people mention, hey, can't wait to see how you season. It's been a little bit, would like a refresher. Now, this is how we do it anytime we get a brand new griddle, but also this is something you can do if you need to kind of fix or re-season your griddle top, but nothing to it, but just to get right to it. The first thing we're gonna do is the one and only time we're gonna take soap and water to the unit to clean off some of the grime from some of the packing and soy oils and things they do to preserve it while it's in storage. So let's get to that, and I'm gonna show you this process. So for step one, I've got a small bowl of soapy water, and I've got my handy dandy Scrub Daddy here. Now, I've got a couple of blemishes here. This griddle surface was perfect when we unboxed this, when I very first got this, but this has been sitting out in the elements, and when I very first got this, we put it together, and then it sat out here for a couple of weeks, and we did start it up to make sure it all works. So we started to do a mini burn off. And what happened is we kind of exposed the surface and then we didn't oil it or anything. So I've had a couple of spots of rust. So I took care of those earlier. So they're dark gray now, but that's just kind of taken off some of that surface. But that's okay. That's the best part. With this steel, we're gonna be able to resurface and get it back to new. So all I'm doing is just kind of scrubbing this. This is just gonna get any of the oils from packing off. And this is the only time I'm going to use soap and water for this unit. Now, I'll use water for steam and things like that at other times. This is gonna be definitely the only time I'm ever going to use soap. And that's all it takes. It doesn't take much. Just kind of clean it up, and then we'll get going on rinsing this. So now I'm just gonna take my big bowl of water. I'm gonna start pushing the soap out down into my small catch here, my grease trap. I'll do this a few times, get all the soapiness out. Now, this is a tabletop unit. Grease trap is a little bit smaller, so watch that. Overflowed just a little bit, was able to catch it and dump it. By the way, this is the same process we do for any size griddle, not just this tabletop. This is the same thing we've done for our 36-inch units, 28-inch, 30, anything in between, even down to the 22-inch. This is what we're doing. Now, if you have a ceramic top, you're not gonna need to do this step because, well, I take it back, you would soap in water, but you're not going to season the griddle. The ceramic tops are already seasoned. We do have the optional replacement ceramic top for this unit, and we'll be featuring some cooks on that as well. But this is pretty much it. This is all I'm doing. All right, got mostly all of the water pushed off. So now I'm gonna come through. You know, I've got a squeegee, but we just recently packed some things away. So I do happen to have what is like a little squeegee for cooking, something that would push this right off. But right here, use the paper towels, get the last of the water. I am doing this whole process on top of my 5-burner deluxe unit. Partly, I just wanted to highlight how lightweight this unit is. So this can definitely sit on top of my other griddle. Any tabletop is gonna work. I also like the height that this gives me to work with. So that's what I'm doing. So if you see the 2 sets of knobs, that's why we're just right up here on my old beat up griddle here. This thing has been around for 2 years. We've done hundreds and hundreds of cooks on this. I took this to the school where I teach at, and we cooked, 175 smash burgers, and then I came home and used the same unit to do another 175. All right, one more pass. This is all dry. So now all we got to do is fire it up. Woo! There we go. There we go. Got all 3 burners on. There we go. We've got blue flame all the way across. We're good to go. So I'm gonna let this sit for about 10 minutes. We're gonna start to see some color change, but the first thing I'm doing is bringing this up to temp. Once it's up to temp, we're gonna be throwing some oil down. I will today just be using basic vegetable oil. It's what I happen to have access to right now. There are different conditioners and different things you can use. However, any oil, any cooking oil is gonna work. You want a higher smoke point oil that is going to be able to take the heat. If you use too low a smoke point oil, it will crack and the surface isn't going to hold up over time. In fact, I will say early on, and this is the whole evolution of learning griddle cooking. We're here in Central Florida, and so we had heard originally in doing some research that flaxseed oil was going to create the best surface. Now, while that might be true for cast iron cooking, which I'm still not entirely sure, we did get some cracking with the griddle, but we've had that with a lot of different oils. Vegetable oil, canola oil seem to work really well for us. People swear by grapeseed oil or sunflower oil, things like that. However, there are health concerns. Make sure and do your own research. Do what works for you. This is what we've been doing for years and it works for us. So we're sticking with vegetable oil for this one, but you'll see as this turns colors, we'll come back and get to the next phase. All right, so we are about 10 minutes in and you see some of the darkening spots. This is what happens. I know these are my hot spots. This over here, I did turn off and turn back on because it didn't seem to be getting as hot. So it is coming up to temp, but the thing is now I've got some good heat on there. I'm gonna start my seasoning layer now. Historically, any griddle, you're gonna have some hotter spots and cooler spots, which will be more evident as we lay the oil. You'll start to see where my hottest spots are. Don't worry, over time, cooking on a griddle more and more, you're going to get some more coloration in it and get that whole surface really dark. Aside from the oil, we're also gonna use paper towels, and I do have some long-handled tongs. This is gonna be pretty much all the rest of the tools that I'm gonna need. So I take about 3 or 4, and I'm going to bunch them up so I get it to about like that and hold on to them with the tongs. And I'm gonna take my oil, and I'm gonna get just enough to get a surface. We want thin coats of oil across the top. If it gets too thick, it's gonna create a layer that will flake off and eventually peel, or just flake off. So I'm gonna cover this. If I need a little bit more, I will get more, but if I need less, I will actually just make sure and wipe it off. So I'm gonna rub this right onto the griddle. I'm coming all the way around. Yep, see, I got a little bit too much, so that's okay. But I'm gonna make sure I get this. Then I'm going to make sure I go along my walls here. I go on the inside and the outside. Make sure I am seasoning all parts of the steel. So I got here and then right back here as well. Gonna get as much as I can of this. So again, making sure I'm taking off any of the excess where it might puddle up. There we go. Just make sure I've got a nice thin layer of oil. And now all we're doing is we're gonna let this go until we see that smoke stop. And then we'll stop and do this process as many times until we feel the griddle is ready. We'll probably go, I would say 4 or 5 times, maybe a little bit more. All right, so clearly that was the issue. You can see this is the residual smoke that was left. I wasn't getting smoke. That was my biggest key, that it wasn't working. I wasn't getting it up to temp. This is definitely getting hotter. Back here, I'm finally getting some dark color. So with the seasoning process, we're back on track with how it would go. You see the light layers of oil. I was able to realize that this, I might have an issue with my adapter or the tank itself. That said, these got a few of those canisters, so I'm gonna be good to go for seasoning the rest of the griddle. So we'll get on it and we'll come back when we get to the end so you can see the final product. So I'm gonna do this. I'll probably put 3 more oil layers on. We'll see how that does. All right, so you're gonna be able to start seeing this difference. I'm just gonna let this play for a little bit. You can see we're getting darkening all across. So this part will be darker. We'll earn the sides and the edges, but I'm not worried about that for now. We're just about done. Let that keep going. Holy cow, one pass with the right. We're getting over 500 degrees across the board. So you see that nice seasoning. I'm just gonna do 1 more layer just to call it good. This right here, I could cook on this. This is a good enough, strong enough seasoning layer, but like I told you, I like to do more. So all things considered, I did realize this might have been user error. I don't think I tightened this on strong enough when I had the adapter on. We had moved it from the back table and I think it was loose. So that could have been user error as far as that. So after all this, I will do 1 more test with the tank just to see if it is the tank, the way I hooked it up, or it could be the adapter altogether. I'm guessing user error, but you see, we'll go 1 more layer. You see how this is smoking? This is how it should look every time. So Man, but this is always a process, so I've done this enough to know I just needed to troubleshoot a few things. Thank heavens I didn't give up after the first try and say, wow, I'm not getting hot enough, this griddle isn't working. So there's always going to be something or ways to get it to work the way you need it to. So we're gonna go this, let this smoke off. This should be about 10 more minutes, and we'll wrap up the video. So there it is, just a little bit more smoke coming off of here. We've got a little bit lighter right up here in the front, about front 2 or 3 inches here. We'll earn that a little bit over time. Like I said, since we got the tank switched out, we've only done 1 seasoning layer, 2 seasoning. In fact, the first one was just what was left from before and added 1. So if I do 2 or 3 more, that's gonna get dark. But you know what? I'd rather start cooking and let the cooking help season it. But this right here is good. I'm doing smash burgers for the family tonight. So there we go. Let's go ahead and let's wrap this up. Well, that took a little bit longer than it should have, but that is on me. So I guess my biggest takeaway from this seasoning video, I've done several seasoning videos where it's here's step 1, here's step 2, and then we wrap it up. Like I said, any griddle, you're gonna find out things that you need, things you don't need. I still have it on because I'm still just letting this last oil burn off here, but it looks spectacular. It's beautiful right now. I'm really excited to get to cook on this. Seasoning is relatively simple. The 3 main things you need obviously the griddle, you get the heat, you need the oil, you need paper towels, and you need some tongs, something long enough to reach so you can get around and get in there. Thin layers. Do as many as you feel. 3 or 4 often is enough. Like I said, I sometimes really like to get it dark the first time, 5 or 6. After that, it's up to you what you want to cook. Let the griddle cool all the way. I guess sometimes some people just get right to cook, and I feel like it gets a little sticky right off the bat, but that doesn't matter. Also, one tip, sometimes your first foods are going to stick. I remember one time I cooked bacon right after I seasoned the griddle. All the bacon seemed to stick, and then I had the outlines of bacon for about a month. Don't worry about it. It's going to continue to cook. Those are just part of the seasoning process, part of the griddle. It's really hard to ruin these things. So don't feel like you messed it up in any way, shape, or form. Now, if you have questions or issues or problems, feel free to reach out to us in the comments down below. You know, we like to answer as many of the comments as we possibly can. And we loved all things griddle cooking, and we want to share that passion with you. So this is the way to go. I've had a lot of people reach out recently and say they're super excited. They saw the unboxing of the three burner for camping, for traveling, even tailgating. This thing is so lightweight, and it is so great. Hopefully in the season to come, the football season, Brett and I can take this on the road, do a little bit of tailgating with it, because this thing is awesome. Thank you so much for sticking it out and watching this. If this video helped you, if it gave you an idea of how you can season your griddle, make sure and give the video a thumbs up. It's one way in which you can support us in what we do. Another way you can support us is by purchasing one of our 2 cookbooks, the Epic Outdoor Griddle Cookbook or Smash. Both are available on Amazon or anywhere books are sold. Thank you so much again for sticking it out with us. We really do appreciate it. I got nothing else, so with that, I bid you adieu. And don't forget to like and subscribe. And griddle on.